Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode,
no midweek action? No problem, because it's time for another fantasy draft. Oh, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I'm joined in a virtual room filled with lions. I've got all of them today. Got Ollie, got Berth, got Chris. It's the Friday show on a Thursday because you know this could be our new prime time slot for the week, but we're keeping it flexible. Pretty easy. But hey, what I'm going to ask though, it's always the same question: what are you looking forward to this weekend?
I've actually got a really good one.
Oh, go on, Berth.
No, Ollie, you carry on. It's not often you've got something to do on the weekend, so you carry on. Carry on.
You're quite right. I'm visiting my dad this weekend. I'm going to go stay at his for a couple of days. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, fair. What about yourself, Berth? You were ready?
Yeah. So me and my girlfriend are going to London to watch Hamilton.
Nice.
Nice. It was a Christmas present. So going down tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow and Saturday, so yeah, it'll be nice weekend.
It's a
away.
Good show. You'll really enjoy it. It's well worth seeing.
I've watched it on Disney Plus, whether it's on. And musicals aren't my thing, but Gemma loves it, so yeah, I'm sure I'll enjoy it as well.
What about you, Chris? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to getting a bit better because I've been ill this week, so I'm resting this weekend. But I'm hoping to get out and. Because my daughter hasn't got football this week, so I've got a free Saturday morning. So I'm hoping to get out and watch some of the girls that I coach on a Wednesday and a Friday, watch a couple of their games. So it's the only opportunity I get to go, really, when we don't have a game.
Oh, nice. You know what? I've gone niche. I did write down here what I'm looking forward to. Fuck all, because the NFL season's over. But I've gone niche. Oh. Because there's something I found out from another podcast today. And I bet none of you knew that the World Cup was being played right now. And that is the
World Cup.
The 2024 FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup in the UAE. Wow. I'm going to try and watch it because I've watched it before and it was just fun. So I'm like, yeah, why not? I mean, Eric Cantona used to play in that, and Zico, some other players, I'm sure, but they're not playing it this year. So. But obviously,
fair play.
I don't know how old they are now.
Is that on Eurosport or something? Is it?
Oh, yeah, that's got Eurosport.
It is. I believe it's exclusively on FIFA Plus, which is it's free. It's not like they charge you for it.
Of course, it's free.
It's
no one will watch it.
No one's paying to watch that.
Yeah. Put some respect on that tournament.
Stuff like Eurosport gives you like the World Badminton Championships and stuff.
Yeah. I only ever touched snowboarding World Cup. That's what I've watched on Eurosport before. And they've got the Olympics now as well because of Discovery.
Is a question. We're going off topic massively here, but what's the most obscure sport you like? That's a question to everyone.
I can't really.
You like curling, Ollie?
I'm not like a diehard fan or anything, but if it's on, like I will watch it, and I'm quite interested in the strategy of it. I must say,
I do like curling as well. I'm with you there, Ollie. That is good. It is good.
See, I'm a big fan of bowls. I do.
Yeah,
bowls.
that's a good one as well.
Fair play.
Arguably, a poor man's curling.
Yeah.
Well, not really. Just a warmer.
Yeah, a warmer curling.
The summer variant.
You can play that on the beach as well.
You know what? Because I'm going to go with the CrossFit Games. I enjoy that. I've really got into that now. Really got into it. So
I would actually my real answer is actually when World's Strongest Man is on. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Whenever that's on a random TV channel when you're in like a hotel or whatever, that's always so good to watch.
And you look at it and go, I could do that.
But the thing is, though, is the World's Strongest Man counted as a sport or a competition?
It's tough. I feel like it probably is a competition, but they are doing like very
multiple
active stuff, aren't they? Like it's
stuff,
more of a
yeah.
sport than something like bowling is.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah,
Oof,
that's true.
bloody hell! Careful.
No.
Anyway, you know what? Let's hit that news. Oh, it's that time of the week. We're going to check out news you may have missed in the elevator of Chelsea news. Chelsea women have offered a contract to Lyon head coach Sonia Bompastor to replace the USWNT bound Emma Hayes at the end of the season. Chelsea are planning to move on from a number of big names this summer. Raheem Sterling is one of those who does not have a long-term future at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have inquired about 21-year-old Everton defender Jared Branthwaite. Chelsea are reluctant to go above their unofficial wage ceiling of around $150,000 per week for Conor Gallagher. And finally, Mansfield Town became the first team in more than 25 years to score 9 in a Football League match as they beat Harrogate 9-2 in England's 4th tier. There's a bit of niche goal-scoring fact for you. What is it from this week's news that's grabbed your attention? Is it that Kylian Mbappe will join Chelsea? It's got to be, hasn't it? Come on. He's going to do it, isn't he?
We all knew he was going to leave for free, but I don't think he'll accept 150 grand a week.
Yeah, so true.
You could. We've still got the unofficial ceiling. Can't have 100. No. You can be on parity with Conor Gallagher
Paul
now.
Stanley just standing there being like, no, really, we can convince him.
I actually don't think out of that news there was any good news in the men's team sort of news there, because the Conor Gallagher thing I think is a joke, because that just means that they're not working with the manager at all. They're just because he wants to keep him. But they're going,
I think that's pretty obvious. We want to keep him.
Which that doesn't bode well for a long-term success, then, does it? If they're already selling players that the manager wants to keep.
Yeah. To be fair, they said they are negotiating with Gallagher, and there's like an open dialogue. But the thing is, as well, is like just because he signs a new deal doesn't mean he's not going. Like
exactly.
I think it'll be that 30th of June. It'll be that 30th of June deadline, won't it? Because of the whole financial year. Because we got all our. If you look at last season, we bought all our players after basically July onwards, and we sold everyone before July because obviously that closure of that window. That's just how the club's been run now.
And then the Sterling news. I've seen some people really happy about that, but the one thing we've been saying for ages is we lack experience, and we're going to sell someone like Sterling who's 29, probably turning 30,
and we're going to lose Thiago Silva at the same time.
Yeah. And then we'll replace him with someone who's 18, probably got on loan. So it's like next year we could have even less experience in the squad. So I don't see how that's going to be a positive either.
No, I can see points. I think we just have to wait and see. I mean, I just find it's like sending out the players that we've sent out, obviously, and trying to make pure profit on. Ian Matson's ripping up the Bundesliga right now. I think he's just got, is it Bundesliga Player of the Month?
It's rookie of the month.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. I mean, there we go. I mean, that if it's 35 million that his release clause is, we don't know officially. If it is, someone's taking that. They're not going to not. I mean,
apparently Dortmund won it, don't they? So
I couldn't blame
don't see why they wouldn't.
You know what?
Got half a chance of winning the Bundesliga with him.
Yeah, that's not too.
How bad Bayern have been.
Yeah. I think for me, it's got to be the news that Chelsea have made a move for Sonia Bompastor of Lyon. Because I remember when the news broke last year about Emma Hayes leaving, I did campaign on this show. I went Sonia or Sabrina, obviously, of Serena of the England team, because we need that winning mentality. And the fact we're looking to her to continue the Chelsea legacy, for me, it's exciting because I looked at, obviously, her impact at Lyon, and debut season, she led the squad to a double, both the title and the Champions League title. And they made it look easy, Lyon did. They dominated the league, 21 wins and 1 draw out of 22 games. The Champions League final was against Barcelona. They didn't waste any time there, scored all their 3 goals in 33 minutes. That's Barcelona. That's the team to beat at the moment.
That's the Barcelona that cracked us, what was it, 4-1 in the Champions League final when we played them?
And then the following season, that momentum carried on. Another league title, 20 out of 22 wins. The Champions League, they lost to us, didn't they, in a penalty shootout? That's no mean. Yeah, it's all right. Let's forgive them. But then I looked at the current campaign because obviously when this broke, I just had to see how they're getting on. They're in the quarterfinals again. They're against Benfica in the Champions League. Domestically, they're running it, sitting comfortably at the top. 14 wins and a draw out of 15. PSG are trailing by 10. I also feel that the benefit of what this move could bring is, look, it's worth noting that Bompastor played a big role in shaping some of our current stars. Obviously, Katerina Macario and Kadisha Buchanan.
Mm-hmm.
And that was before, obviously, they moved to London even. And I feel tactically as well, she's like really, really solid for us because, she's known for the flexible 4-3-3 formation. And look at her winning percentage at Lyon, 85%. That's the effect of Bompastor that will bring you. I'm hyped if it goes through.
It makes me laugh though. It's like the executives at the club saw everything they did with the men's team and went, we're not doing that again. And when right, we're going to break the transfer record for a striker, and then we're going to get the best possible manager we can. And it seems to be a sound strategy. I wonder when they'll try it for the men's team.
Wow. I did see when I saw the news break, I did think, I'm curious what people will be saying. And I just saw a lot of, legendary card on EAFC. I was like, what? Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Listen,
no.
Some kids are a lot of people don't watch women's football and they're very young.
You could see
anything that they can do to get more people watching women's football is good. And if a Legends card does that, then good.
You could see the age range quite quickly when you just saw, I know of them on EAFC cards. I was like, for fuck's sake.
Does anyone call it EAFC really?
No, surely no one does.
No, you mean you're playing FIFA?
Yeah. Okay. It's the same as the Twitter X conundrum, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah. Well, they were still. I was watching some news reports yesterday, and they were still saying Twitter on these.
Yeah,
big
of course
news
they are. Because everyone knows it. If I go rebrand something,
let us know on X,
Elon.
People are going to be like, huh, what? So
it doesn't help that that's a terrible name as well. They changed it to X, which is a terrible name.
Well.
The only thing that has got better by calling it X is it's easier to search on Google.
Yeah.
Oh man. Right. Main content time. We're back again with another fancy draft because no midweek action. And this episode, we're going to be drafting players that the streets won't forget. 3 picks each. It's a snake draft as always. And the exact definition of what the streets won't forget player is, from what I pulled up, was someone who we all recognise within that elite genre of ballers who exclusively fall under the bracket of individualistic, crowd-pleasing entertainers. There you go. One season wonders, I suppose you could throw in there a little bit if people go, I remember him. Yeah. I already know how insanely difficult this is going to be because I bet some of us had similar names on our draft boards.
I really hope not, because I've not got many.
I'm hopeful none of mine are picked early because I feel mine are niche. Of course they are. I've just gone with the Beach World Cup for the weekend. So I did a randomizer and I got Ollie, Berth, Chris, and then me. I'm always fucking last. So Ollie, who's your pick?
So my first pick is a player who arguably needs no introduction, but I'll give him one anyway. Just really skillful, really knew what he was doing on the ball. Never really got a big move to a big club, but was always just a phenomenal talent whenever you saw him. It's Adel Taarabt.
Oh, I knew he'd be on there. I knew he'd be on the board.
Yeah, I knew he was on my list.
He's arguably one of the best. You could probably make an argument for him for being the best Premier League player to never play for a top 6 side.
He played for Spurs.
They don't count.
Knob, though.
They don't count.
I think
Villa have replaced them.
I think the problem with Taarabt is though his attitude was just he's one of those players that's just unbelievably naturally gifted, but just couldn't be asked if he was the best or not.
Built in the mold of like a Ravel Morrison sort of attitude. Yeah. But that's kind of what makes some of those players like the way they are, if you know what I mean. I feel like if he was disciplined and he wasn't a bit of a dick, he wouldn't be as good as he is.
Yeah.
Championship player of the year 2010-2011. That's all I remember.
Great season that year.
Wow, what individualistic
Scored some phenomenal goals.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's ridiculous. And he's also he won the title with Benfica because I think they were like a CDM role for him, and he was like really good at it. It was like okay, so
Wow.
and I think now he's in Saudi Arabia. I think he is.
Good for you, Adele. Secure the bag.
So
Yeah.
right, Berth, who have you got? Who's your first pick?
This player is unbelievable. I think his attitude is always great. Well, maybe not to a certain set of fans, but his attitude was always great. Great, unbelievably talented. One of the best set piece takers I've ever seen.
Oh.
Skillful, great dribbler.
Oh,
He was only in the Premier League for a very short time, but my God, at one point you could argue he's one of the best players in the league, and that is Dimitri Payet.
I wondered.
Absolutely. He was on mine. I'm absolutely so glad you said him, Berth, because he was phenomenal. Those like
What
1 or 2 seasons he was for playing for West Ham. He was absolutely brilliant. I couldn't believe how good he was, and really how West Ham managed to pull a deal off for a player that good.
I mean,
technically, you could argue he's one of the best players I've ever seen. That left foot was outrageous. Like some of the guys scored from Marseille,
unbelievable.
The free kicks. I mean, I can't remember how many he scored now, but there was that famous one against Palace and stuff.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of, where it doesn't make any logical, physical sense how he does it.
But people forget. I mean, the goal against Middlesbrough, where he took on about 10 players and just put it in the back of the net. There was that.
Yeah,
and then he got an assist with Rabona, and that doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh wow!
So what a player! What a player!
Great choice, mate.
Good, that is a good shout. Right, Chris, who have you got?
Well, I've got sort of similar, following along the set piece theme. Non-Premier League player. Probably the best free kick take I've ever seen. Juninho from Lyon.
Oh, my man. Oh, yes.
You know what's funny about that, though? You could actually probably pick both Juninhos.
You could. You could.
Juninho played for, was it Middlesbrough?
Juninho, that was Juninho. Palista, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
The Lyon one, the Lyon Juninho, you could give a free kick away on the halfway line and think, oh, that's a good foul to commit, and he would score. And it was like, he scored from there.
Yeah.
I remember one in the Champions League. I think it was against Porto. It was near the halfway line on the left-hand side, and he put it far top right-hand corner. And it was like, how have you scored from there? It doesn't make any sense. He was unbelievable. Like, arguably, maybe aside from Beckham, but that you could make an argument that actually he's probably the best free kick taker ever.
I'll have to find that Porto one.
You could argue that.
I remember the Bayern one, which was ridiculous.
He had a season at Lyon where, especially in the Champions League, where he just did it pretty much every game. Like every time he got a free kick, he scored. It was like, wow.
Yeah, he's just absolutely ridiculous player. One of my favourites. He's literally, when I think of my favourite all-time players, he's up there with Torres and Kaká just instantly, because that free kick. Oh, it's just... It's one of them where it's almost like what we see now, not the same comparison, but James Ward-Prowse, when you give them a free kick, it's like a penalty. That's the thing. That's how damn good he is. And I am so glad that my first pick, it is the 2010 World Cup edition of Diego Forlan. Proper niche.
Wow.
Let me tell you
the
about
Streets
this.
will not forget that very specific message.
It's
true. It's true. That World Cup in South Africa, it was special. And we all remember a lot of players struggled to get a handle on the Jabulani. But Forlan made it his own. And when I researched into this, he had so much preparation on this. 3 months before the World Cup, he asked Adidas to send him a Jabulani to practice with. He did. It paid off.
I was going to say that was a smart thing to do, given like the difficulties everyone had with the Jabulani in the end.
Yeah. I mean,
in fairness to him, though, how good was he at Villarreal as well?
Oh, yeah.
Like he was
Atletico.
Phenomenal player.
I mean, the quarterfinal against Ghana, the pressure was on, and he just bangs in a trademark free kick that left the keeper at the route to the spot. And Uruguay did bow out in the end, but his brilliance didn't go unnoticed because, not by a long shot. He scooped up the golden ball for the tournament's best player, the golden boot for the leading scorer, and got goal of the tournament. I mean, that's really something.
Not bad, really.
Not bad. He was written off during his time at Manchester United, but he did become arguably an icon. And he's got, from what I was reading, humility, work ethic. That's what makes the 2010 World Cup edition of Forlan special for me. So, yeah.
Mikey's next pick is the 2004 Euros version of Milan Baros.
Oh my word! I wish I'd have picked it. Oh my God, that is such a good shout.
Wow!
It's a snake draft, Mikey, and you're next.
I know. I'm not. I'm going to go with someone that no one is going to have picked. He's still playing to this day, and he's 47 now. Does that help?
Sorry, 47.
He's 47. He still plays.
Is it that one guy who plays in like the Latvian league?
No. I have gone with the living highlight reel that is Lee Trundle.
Trundle, wow.
Yeah, we all know.
What a show.
If you were picking players for a five-a-side team, first name on my sheet, no questions.
Yeah.
And he's at Mumbles Rangers, and I love this. When I researched it, he's bagged a hat-trick on his debut for them. Of course he did.
Wow.
And
of course he did.
Class is permanent, ladies and gentlemen.
Back in his Swansea days, he netted 78 in 146, and Soccer AM was sort of his thing. He was the star of the showboating section because he sent in his own clips to get featured. And he had phenomenal footwork. He pulled off Zidane, those pirouettes, those roulettes like nothing. And the moment that sticks with me the most was when he brought down the ball and he did the shoulder roll. Oh my word. That's like a Ronaldinho thing.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Unbelievable.
I loved it so much. I mean, that made me want to do it on FIFA so much. I mean, if listeners, you do not know who on earth this guy is, I promise you right now, just check out his highlights on YouTube. It's just the best 3 minutes you'll watch. It's incredible what he did. And he was phenomenal. And he is one of those players I don't know if outside England, he's that well, outside the UK, he's that well known, but he really is one of those like maverick players with skill, like Ronaldinho-esque skills. So Chris, who's your next pick?
Well, Ollie said earlier about Taarabt potentially being the best player to never play for a top 6 team in the Premier League. I think this bloke's got a shout. JJ Okocha.
Yeah. What a player.
He's like part of that prime Bolton side, which
our Bolton team was class. You could pick loads from that team.
It was. Yeah, you so could. But JJ
so funny
Okocha,
to say that though. Prime Bolton.
He was one of them players as well, though. Okocha. What I loved about him is you could see that he just loved playing. Like he was always happy on the pitch. He played football like it was in his back garden. Like I don't really know why he never got a move to a big club. Like it was a weird one because he was really good.
I think he's
for a good number of years.
I think he was quite old when he moved to the Bolton, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, he was at PSG, and he was. I think Ronaldinho sort of saw him as a mentor as well. I mean,
he was great,
and he was part of the. I do remember he was part of the '96 Olympic Games win with Nigeria and the '94 AFCON, which is like just look at that star.
And then he went to Bolton. Like the Premier League was so bizarre then, wasn't it?
And
like
when Middlesbrough and Bolton were powerhouses.
JJ Okocha went to Bolton under the management of Sam Allardyce. That wrap around your head.
Even Campo went there. Fernando Herrero. Come on.
Yeah.
World Cup winner. Wow. Oh, awesome.
Incredible.
Awesome. Right, Berth, who have you got?
Right, this player is non-Premier League.
Oh,
maverick, lived a mad lifestyle. If you read up about him, proper baller, real great player. An unsung hero, I'd say, for the Galacticos team at Real Madrid. Had some amazing assists, some great goals. Is Guti.
Yes, love that guy.
Guti.
What a player!
I mean, for me, I think he's got probably one of my all-time favourite assists when he backheels it back to Benzema for about 3 people's legs. Just some amazing vision on the guy. Could say his lifestyle got in the way of how he played, but he was a maverick. This is what sort of this draft is about. He emphasises that he's just great passer, great dribbler, just just never knew what he was going to get of him. And but technically, out of this world. And yeah, what a player!
Yeah, he's pretty special. I mean, yeah, he's one of them players that you can look up like assists, like one of his like the assist compilations. They're pretty damn special. He's certainly an underrated player as well, for certain. Like,
definitely underrated. I think when people think, of Real Madrid, they think of all those Galacticos, and he goes under the radar quite often.
He won 3 Champions Leagues with them, and people just go, "Oh yeah, Guri." No, guilty.
That guy,
guilty. Man, right, Ollie, who have you got? You got two lined up now.
Yeah, my last 2, I guess, because we're doing 3 players, right?
Yeah, we are.
Right. So the first one is another player, much in sort of the Adel Taarabt kind of mold. Was a little bit of a maverick, but just an unbelievably skilled player. I think I mentioned him a couple of weeks ago. Yannick Bolasie.
Oh,
yeah, Yannick Bolasie was unplayable at points.
Yeah,
he was.
Just at times he genuinely, like you say, Berth, he was unplayable. Like, and not many players have a skill named after them the way that he does with the Bolasie flick. And he's just. I think he's just phenomenal. If you ever get a chance, again, like it's the same for all these guys. Look him up on YouTube, look up the highlights, and you'll just be in awe for ages and ages and ages. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And my final pick, much in the same vein actually as the last 2, because that's what I've been sort of going for, and also has a skill named after him. Arguably the best of the 3 that I've picked here. It's he played for Spurs and he played for Man United. It's Dimitar Berbatov.
Oh,
that's it. That is a good shout. He is a good shout.
Like, he's arguably one. Like, he's kind of on the fringes of being like a cult hero, a legend in some ways. But I think he really does kind of encapsulate that Streets Won't Forget kind of player so much. With I always remember that one goal with the specific Berbatov spin that he did right on the touchline,
on the line. Against West Ham.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant goal. Just a great player. And even though he was Spurs, I think we can all tell he was quality.
Oh yeah, and the Fulham thing as well. You know, when he was at Fulham and he brought the ball down like just effortless.
Yeah,
effortless.
Yeah. Best first touch I've ever seen on a footballer, I think, Berbatov.
Yeah, you could argue it for sure.
Yeah, for certain. Right, Berth, who have you got?
Well, this one, Mike, I'm going to take a page out of your book here. I'm going to go for 2008 to 2009. Andre Arshavin, right?
I'm so glad you said him. He was an honourable mention for me, Berth. He was so good. There was that one game he scored 4 goals.
That's what I mean. Like, he was unbelievable in the Euros. I thought this guy's a player. Then I think Arsenal got him in the January, and then he ripped Liverpool open. He had pace. He was a fantastic finisher, good on both feet, skillful. Yeah, he only showed it for a season, but technically he's fantastic. Yeah, what a great season. And growing up, he gave me some memorable moments watching Sky Sports. So for me, I mean, scoring 4 goals at Anfield, not many players do that. So he's got to be in there, because that spell in 2008, he was unplayable as well.
That's a great shout.
That is fair as they are. Right, Chris, who have you got?
See, I've got 1, 2, 3.
Bloody hell! Someone's prepped.
I've got 5 people on the list, and I don't know which one to pick. But I think I'm going to go with Matt Taylor.
Wow, that's out of left field.
Do you
remember him?
Do you remember that season at Portsmouth where he just kept scoring? Yeah. Banger after banger. It was like every week. It was like you want the ball to fall to someone 40 yards out. You want Matt Taylor, and then his career just sort of fell off a cliff. But for that 1 year where he just everything he hit went in, he was unbelievable.
Yeah. Just for the goals alone.
No, he was left back, sort of midfielder, bit of a hybrid.
Left mid,
sort of player.
Yeah, he was. I remember him recently. He was on. He randomly came up on Football Focus that he was the manager of Shrewsbury Town. He's not anymore. He got fired. But I was like, oh, okay, sweet, of course, you know.
Yeah, those goals though. That one, the volley over the keeper from like basically the halfway line where the ball's coming back at him as well.
He just scored.
He could hit a ball. He could hit a ball.
Yeah, I mean. He reminds me, there was another one as well at Portsmouth. Richard Hughes scored a worldie. He does stuff now. I think I need to Google this because I think Serie A. I feel like he does something in the Serie A. I always hear him on like random podcasts. Yeah, he's Richard Hughes. Let's have a look. I'm sure he does something now in BT Sport. He works as a pundit and he runs a restaurant. Hey, there we go. There's some. Yeah, Italy he does stuff with Serie A punditry. Oh wow, what a man! Right, my main thing, my final pick. Who he didn't get picked. I'm so happy he's still on the board. It's Edinaldo Batista Libano. He's otherwise known as Graffiti, the former Wolfsburg forward.
Oh, the one who was partnered with Edin Dzeko.
Oh, yes. 17 years. He lit up the pitch with skills that the defenders, they didn't know what to do. You know, he had cheeky chip finishes. He set up his teammates with ridiculous passes. Graffiti's talent was certainly special. And it just gives me a good excuse to talk about that Puskas nominated goal where he just sends 4 Bayern Munich players on the floor.
Yeah, what
gets
goal.
chances past them.
Yeah, that was
keepers on the floor, and then he
that.
backheels it into the net.
Yeah, crazy.
Beautiful. And I did my own little bit of research on him as well. Found out that he went from selling bin liners in Sao Paulo to becoming that global icon. I was like, oh wow. And in Germany, he found his groove, didn't he? Under the guidance of, I guess you could say this is a Streets Won't Forget manager, Felix Magath.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Before everyone mocked him.
They won the league, didn't they?
Everyone mocks Magath because of that cheese thing with Hangeland, but Magath was a very respected manager in Germany. So, yeah.
It's so funny how like one little moment like that can really ruin somebody's their public image just forever.
I mean, the Streets won't forget him because Wolfsburg's historic Bundesliga triumph in 08-09, and he led the league in goals alongside, Dzeko, 28 and 25. Wolfsburg win the title, 2 clear of Bayern, who they actually beat 5-1 a few games before the end of the season. And it weren't a weak Bayern side because I did double take Luca Toni, Frank Ribery, Klose, Podolski, Schweinsteiger.
Oof.
Wow. Yeah, it was a good... And a 19-year-old Thomas Muller. But Thomas Muller wasn't Thomas Muller that we know back then. But, I mean, lovely stuff. He was a lovely, lovely, enjoyable maverick to watch. And, yeah... I feel we've really done a good draft there.
Yeah, I was wondering if anyone had any honourable mentions that they didn't get to say, because I had a couple.
I've got some.
I had Halls Giovanni, who also was a Man City. Pedersen.
Yes.
Pedersen, Morten Gamst, of course. And of course, one of our little own players, Alex.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. He is a Streets Won't Forget player.
The free kick man.
I had...
Right, what have we got?
2 free kicks ever, but what free kicks?
I had Suleiman Tari. Exactly. He was an honourable mention.
Oh, yes.
He is on mine. He was class. That Portsmouth team, mad.
What a player. What a complete midfielder he was.
Yeah.
Any more, Chris?
I had Pedro Mendes.
I remember him.
Just love scoring really good goals.
Ben Thatcher.
That's all I can think of.
Yeah, that's it.
Ben Thatcher. I'm so sorry.
Nico Kranjčar.
One of my favourites.
And this is the roguish one because it's a goalkeeper.
Oh.
Gabor Kiraly.
Oh, yes, with the jogging.
Just for the sweatpants. Yeah. Wow. Only goalkeeper I've ever seen turn up like he's sat on the sofa.
Iconic. I had a couple honourable mentions. I had Charlie Adam for that one season he was in the Premier League with Blackpool.
Yeah.
And he, just unbelievable. He
scored against Courtois.
Yeah, was it Courtois? I can't remember.
It was
Courtois.
Unbelievable goal, to be fair. Papi Cisse, you see a theme here. Another unbelievable goal scored against him. Yeah. Thought he was just a brilliant player all around, and of course scored that absolute one of the greatest Premier League goals of all time against us. Victor Moses, he was another one for me. He feels like a Streets Won't Forget player because he was kind of like the original wing back before it was cool. Yeah. And then my last one is a manager, another manager Streets Won't Forget, Wolfgang Wolf.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my word!
Just on the name alone,
he just sounds like a conductor at an orchestra. That's a very You'd hear him around like the times of Mozart. Like, oh yeah, Wolfgang Wolf. Yeah, bloody hell. Love that. Well, that was a solid draft, I think. That was, Right, we're going to move to the Lion of the Week as I try and find the lion sound. There we go. We had a double Crystal Palace weekend. Now we've got a double Manchester City weekend because the women are taking on Man City tomorrow night and the men's team are taking on the blue side of Manchester and Manchester City.
Does that mean we can pick someone from the women's team for Lion of the Week?
I feel that would be Lauren James is fit. Lauren James is fit to play, which I had no doubts about, despite obviously her being sent home against Palace for being ill. But some people are like, oh, she's pulled up. No, I didn't worry about that. I feel Lauren James will probably be the lioness of the week for the women's team tomorrow. I feel that. But right, for the men's team, who we choosing? Who we got?
It's tough in it because it's Man City.
Petrovic. I'll go Petrovic.
I was thinking exactly the same, but I'm not.
Is Sanchez fit though? Because if Sanchez is fit, can you imagine that?
Yeah, to be fair, if he starts Robert Sanchez, I might not watch it.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Gusto.
Nice shout there.
Well, that's a good shout as well.
Yeah, just think like he's probably got a better chance on that right hand side against anyone than any other players.
Are you generally going with Petrovic, Chris?
Oh no.
I am.
I like to pick the different, otherwise it's boring, isn't it?
Well, my wheel gave me Washington.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of other defensive players. You know what? I'm going to go with Gallagher again. I'm going to go with Gallagher. I think
you don't want to know what mine just went. Oh, my wheel.
I don't have Rolling.
My wheel went with Robert Sanchez. I don't like that, but I'm not talking that into existence. I ain't doing it. No way. We aren't doing that.
Come on, it's got to be someone who will play.
Thiago Silva. Okay.
That'll do.
I don't think he'll play though.
Yeah.
He'll come on.
He might.
He will come on. Yeah, if he doesn't start.
He'll do his best. Right. Christmas questions. We didn't get to answer the questions on Tuesday's show because there was some people weren't here, were they?
I'm sorry.
We
planning a wedding.
We saved them for today. Josh has asked, can you guys explain what the Cup Winners' Cup was? I know Chelsea won it in '98.
This one's for the older members of the group.
Okay.
Cup Winners' Cup was basically, wasn't it essentially the Super Cup, but for like the domestic cup? So if you won the FA Cup,
it was the winners of the domestic cups. So the FA Cup
played each other in a tournament.
Yeah. And I thought I'd look into it properly and not just blag my way through this, bluff it. One team was allowed per country. The only exception was if you're a defending champion, you're allowed to defend your crown. Chelsea were actually close to doing that in the 98-99 season, which was the final year of it. We got to the semis only to be knocked out by Mallorca. But I looked at that Lazio team as well. They had Nesta, Mihailovic, Stankovic, Mancini, Almeida, Nedved, Salas, and Vieri. I mean, we wouldn't have won. We wouldn't have won.
No.
But wow.
No, what a team that was.
It would effectively have been Zola against them.
Yeah. I mean, we did win it as well in 70-71 against Real Madrid. But yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Sadly,
I wasn't there, but
no, none of us remember that.
I'm not that old.
I mean, sadly, that tournament got merged with the UEFA Cup, so you win a domestic cup, you qualify for that. But I prefer the Cup Winners' Cup. At least to be there, you had to have won something and not finish sixth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Strizzy5 has said hot take. I don't think this is a hot take at all, but Petrovic becomes a top goalkeeper in the league by the end of the season.
No, that is a hot take.
I can see that.
I'm not saying like it definitely won't happen, but I just think I think it would be. He would have to be unbelievable to be considered one of the best Premier League goalkeepers.
You're not topping Ederson, Alisson, or Martinez. But
he's got to be like he's got his performances would have to go way up. I'm not even saying he's been bad. I'm just saying he would have to be unbelievable.
The only thing is, it depends what. When you say top, it depends what you mean, because obviously the three you just named there, Mikey, are better. But then outside of that, he's probably not far away from the rest now. Onana hasn't got any hands. David Raya forgets that he's a goalkeeper and just.
Vicario Spurs. He's in there.
I think Vicario's up there. I think Vicario's.
I could see him getting if Petrovic at the end of the season is in the top 5 keepers. I think that counts.
He could get in. He could get in the top 5. I think he could get to 5th.
I mean, who's going to beat him? Pickford, Pope? I don't.
Maybe Pope, depending if he has a
Pope's
good
been
second
injured.
half of the season.
Yeah, he's been injured, hasn't he, as well,
Pickford
so-
faces like 100 shots a game, so that's kind of unfair metrics,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Pickford
is just a shouting merchant anyway.
Hasn't Pickford got a lot of clean sheets this season though?
He has, yeah. Joint
he's
most,
he's
isn't it?
the
Or
joint
most,
most.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What's that?
Start a housekeeping business.
I've just looked. Who do you think has made the most saves in the Premier League this season? You ain't going to get it.
I reckon it's Luton's keeper.
It's not. They're
Kaminsky.
sixth. Kaminsky's on sixth place.
It's going to be someone.
If I tell you the team, it's Sheffield United, and it's 100.
I was going to say, is it Sheffield's keeper? But
You
Oh,
can't name their
Foderingham.
keeper, can you?
no,
Is
I
it
don't
West
know yet.
Foderingham?
It
West
is
Foderingham.
indeed. It is West Foderingham.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look at who's top of clean sheets.
They are shit, aren't they, Sheffield United?
Yeah.
Good God.
It is Pickford with 8, and then oh my word, Alisson Becker and Onana are on 7. How is Onana on 7?
Can we say, is Allison having a bit of a mess season for him?
I think so.
I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know if that was
I
necessarily a hot take.
still think he's the best keeper.
Oh yeah, like head and shoulders above everyone else in the
Yeah,
league and
I just
probably in the
don't
world
think that-
anyway. But
I don't think the standard is very high, though, to be honest. And do
Mm.
you know what? I actually don't think clean sheets either is a great metric for how good a goalkeeper is.
no, because you can have like you can not get a clean sheet and a goalkeeper play unbelievably well.
Yeah. Or you can get a
and
clean
just
sheet
like the
without
defense
making a
lets you
save.
down. Yeah, exactly.
Be nice if we didn't have to worry about that and we've got clean sheets every week, but you know.
Yeah, it would be lovely.
Our players don't do that. But right, finally, Kits of Kings Road has asked, do you think it's time to drop Silva? No, because he's my lion. I don't want that to happen yet. As much as I love him, it's evident we play so much slower. I mean, it's a fair point.
Well,
I disagree.
Yeah, but we've got too many injuries at the minute, so he kind of has to play and you need the experience. So
Yeah,
I think you need to just sort of put him in out.
Bell Silva did say we need a change, and
We need to manage him better. I think we need to manage him better.
Yeah,
and
that's kind
he's
of where
not.
I'm at because like he originally came in as someone who we thought was going to be a bit of a relief player anyway, and he's ended up starting for us for like 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
he's like he is human at the end of the day. His body will be slowing down and breaking down, and it's not that he isn't good. He is good. It's just that when he has the ball, he holds on to it for a bit too long, and because he's nearly 40 years old, he can't get up the pitch as quick as everyone else. So the lines between the defense and the midfield just gets too large. But that's why I think he'd be in such a good position if he came on in more games in the second half. If we're protecting a lead, we can sit deep or even make a back three or whatever, and then it's fine. Like then it's no problem. Yeah. But I think you got to play to his strengths a bit more. It doesn't mean he isn't good. It just means you need to tailor the team around him a little bit if you do want to play him.
Yeah. On the topic of defenders, I'm not going to press the breaking news button because it's not. It's 2 hours old and it's not. The Athletic report that Reece James is back in light training, hopes to be back in full training next month.
Right, that'll be in 6 more months.
No point even talking about
rehabilitation programs.
I will be happy. I will be happy when Reece James is back, and I will believe he is injury free when he plays 10 games in a row. Without getting injured.
That's a biscuit bet for everyone. Will he play 10 games or more in a row?
Nope. No.
Like he'll have to come on for 10 uninterrupted times. Like he'll have to play on the pitch 10 times in a row without getting injured. And if he can do that, I'm happy to have him back.
Fair enough.
I'm glad you cleared that up, Ollie, because I was a bit unsure what you meant by 10 games in a row. So I'm glad you cleared that up. Thank you.
No, because like he could have come on or he'd come off or whatever. Like 10 appearances.
You mean
like
Mudryk playing like a few minutes and suddenly you notice he's playing a lot of games? No, he's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not.
He's like a Stanley cameo in a Marvel film. He's there for a bit.
Yeah.
He's like, there he was. He made appearance in this film.
I don't know. Yeah, but they're enjoyable. Mudryk's cameos.
That's great.
Mudryk's the best mascot we've ever had.
Yeah. Right, it's time. Lone Army Carousel, the game of categories. And the category, someone actually said that this sound lives rent-free in their head. So I've got to play it.
Has anyone seen Spurs?
I love that song.
Yeah. Right. The category is Carlo Ancelotti. So it's not too hard. I want you to name the top 25 players to have made the most appearances under the Italian. All clubs, all competitions. So I will. How about we'll go with, because he's on. We'll go Berth, Ollie, and Chris. So Berth, who are you going to go with?
Perlo.
He's on there.
Was it me now? Sorry.
Ollie.
I'm going to go with Maldini.
Yes.
Stole my answer, Ollie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nesta.
Yes.
Seedorf.
Yes.
Oh, good show.
Modric.
Yes.
Tony Kroos.
Yes.
Inzaghi.
Oh, good one.
If you mean Flippo, it is.
Yeah.
Benzema.
Yes.
Gattuso.
Yes.
Oh, this one's right. You know what? Actually, I'm going to this one. Kaka.
Yes. Of course he is.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, this is tough for me now. I'm going to go with Casemiro.
No, you're out. You're out.
fair enough.
Chris, can you keep it up? Someone's going to use that in the Discord in the out of context thing. I know. I know it now.
I don't think where else he's been. I'll go with Shevchenko.
Yes.
Nice. That's a great shout. This one's again rogue. Dida.
Yes.
Oh, nice one.
Ida.
Uh,
Friend of the show.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'll go with someone he's managed twice, I think.
Oh.
So he must be. I'll be disappointed if he's not now. Xabi Alonso.
Oh no. It's all Berth.
Chris.
It's all Berth's winner again.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Berth's
Good job,
got-
Berth.
Can you name any of the others, Berth?
So as Dida's my last one. I was gonna probably go down the Chelsea route next, and I was gonna probably say someone like, I'd say Lampard, but I don't think
well, you'd have been completely wrong because only Shevchenko was the only Chelsea related.
Yeah, I didn't think there'd be many Chelsea players.
Yeah, because he was only there. He weren't there long enough, was he?
Yeah, only 2
He's
seasons.
been at Madrid for a while. I think some
Yeah.
of the other there have been some other Madrid players. I think in there.
You could have had Costa Curta, Cafu, Christian Brocchi, Daniel Carvajal, David Alaba, Federico
really?
Valverde, Kaladze, Marek
Wow.
Jankulovski, Massimo Ambrosini, Nacho Fernandez, Rodrigo, Rui Costa, and Serginho.
Well,
In fairness,
Rui
I don't
Costa.
think there's loads. I don't think there's many names there that everyone's going to go. Oh, you should have got that.
No,
I feel Rui
To be
Costa's
honest,
on there.
I'm not that upset
Yeah, Rui
with
Costa.
my
Cafu,
I'm not
Costa
upset with my
Curta.
performance.
Cafu and Costa Curta as well.
Costa
Yeah.
Curta
Yeah, but
was
I-
so
like-
underrated.
Like when Cafu was playing, I was like 4. Like, it's like
Costa
You know when it was
Curta.
with Real Madrid? The reason why I didn't go Real Madrid is it's so hard to keep track of when he was there and when he wasn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's what worried me with Real Madrid.
Oh yeah, because he
Like
went to.
picking
Remember
people.
that spell when he went to Everton?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh yeah. Signed James Rodriguez, who his career's interesting now. Just look at how many clubs.
God, yeah.
His club, he seems to sign for a new club, and then he agrees to terminate his contract with them
is he a Streets Won't Forget player? You think?
for the World Cup. Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2010
Hmm.
World Cup version of James Rodriguez.
Same with Isco.
Oh,
Remember Isco?
I don't
Malaga.
know about Isco. Don't know about Isco.
He's doing good at
Malaga
Real
version
Betis.
of Isco.
He's doing good.
He's still
there.
playing.
He's at Real Betis.
Yeah.
He's doing quite well.
Yeah,
Got a
fair
top
play
knot.
to him.
He's got a top knot now. So
Now he's ruined it.
right, listeners, we're at the end of another episode. Thank you for listening to this episode. Treat yourself well. We'll be back Monday. We've got games to review, both Man City. I don't know how it's going to go this weekend. I have no idea if we're going to look at 2 wins, 2 losses, a draw. I don't know.
It's not going to be 2 wins, is it? Like,
Yeah, I don't see the women beating Man City. if I'm honest.
but I get you're ever the optimist, and I appreciate it,
know.
brother. But 2 wins? Are you joking?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going to keep saying that and sit on the fence. We'll see. We'll see Monday. That's when we'll catch you later, listeners. That's us signing off. You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.